I'm not looking forward to history class, but here we are. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it's now part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you all an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures were as follows: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Perfect time to make eye contact, young Lizzie. Answer me this. I said one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Wooden planks for writing on? Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as writing mediums in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper become more universally available? Sure, it must be became, right? For the king to consider these paper substitutes treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Well, that's ominous. Oh, is that the time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside class hours. Like, you know I'm coming back. You didn't even need to unload the area. Honestly. I'm still mad about the math test. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. Today we'll continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. Just that you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior, Area 0. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area 0 Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area 0, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Perfect time to take eye contact, young Lizzie. Let's see if you were paying attention. What is the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? The Area 0 Expedition. Correct. To pick up on and remember a term I simply slipped into the flow of the lecture, you really are quite the clever one. The correct name for this team was the Area 0 Expedition. The record of their activities written by the expedition member Heath can be found in the bookstores and the like even today. This record is now known as the Scarlet. The Scarlet Book, you say? At this time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area 0. The Scarlet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The master began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Scarlet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores as just another book of wild, paranormal stories. There's a copy on one of the bookshelves on the ground floor in the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Oh, is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Okay. Anyone else ever get ignored by just, dialogue that's the same every time? Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about the Area 0 expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably toward the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march toward the past instead, to start from our present and study history in reverse? I think it would, yeah. So you agree with me, do you, Lizzie? However, I'm afraid I risk incurring the wrath of our dear director if I stray from the curriculum. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us toward the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of the Terrastal phenomenon. The technology behind Terra Orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, Pokemon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may have already guessed, these were in fact terrestrialized Pokemon. However, when those who discovered these Pokemon brought them out of the Area Zero, the light faded and the Terrastal phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Who? Perfect time to make eye contact, young Lizzie. Answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the Terrastal phenomenon mystery? Clavel. Incorrect. Now perhaps you are correct in a roundabout sort of way. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Sada unraveled the mystery of the Terrastal phenomenon. She discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, rather the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terra Orb technology to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our Academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, the story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? This ends my history classes. Our next session will be our final exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. Alright, history final. Let's go. Yep. Yeah, maybe it was a bad idea to do these, like, all at once. Like, what if you just, like, came back, like, did a bit after each time you do, like, a gym or something? That would have been better. Greetings, my little students. It's time for our final examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your mind and answer these questions. Alright, what is the area within the great crater of Paldea called? That's area... No! Go. It's Area Zero. But when I pressed down, it went down in two. How many years ago? 805. Maybe 806 now, who knows. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about the four treasures? A vessel, a folding head, a folding fan. There wasn't a fan. Which Area Zero expedition wrote of it was Heath. It wasn't Thief. How many years ago did Professor Sada invent Terra Orbs? 10 years ago. We would have had a perfect score! You must excuse that last question. It's too shy and ridiculous to be on this history test. But alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. 4 to 5, I know already. Yeah, I'm aware. 4 to 5, I know. Yep. Thanks. Quit patronizing me. Okay, next class. It's languages time. How did you like the midterm exam? You all did really great. We're halfway there, and now time for another lesson. It's vous prêtez. Are you ready? Yes. Just one response. Great answer. Merci, my friends. I knew I could count on you, stars. Leading up to the midterm, we learned all sorts of words from different regions. Starting today, though, I'll be throwing a curveball for we begin listening comprehension. Vasya, go for it. My assistant, Pikachu. What? Pikachu. As you just heard, Pokemon can also use words to communicate. It's not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning, just as ours do. Pokemon can use language to share all kinds of information with each other, like the location of food or whether there may be predators nearby. The same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious, so Ajun here today, that is, let's learn some Pokemon language. Jetjen pre, if you would be so kind, Pikachu. Pika! What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Gluttony. Say it again. Pika! Happiness? Sorry, Liz, that's not right. Pokemon language is hard, isn't it? When Pikachu says, Pika! It's using its angry voice. That reminds me of, like, Toy Story, like, these are your angry eyes. That's your angry voice, really? That's right, I had my little Pikachu friend here pretend to be angry for us. Don't you think he did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. Pika is angry in Pikachu. In Pikachu's. The same Pokemon can even communicate its feelings in many different ways. Their voices change depending on their mood and physical condition. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon, you might gain a deeper understanding of them. That having been said, Pokemon are quite mysterious creatures. Some actually don't communicate with words at all, but instead use things like electromagnetic or ultrasonic waves. Some even use telepathy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you poke at your Pokemon too many times while watching them during picnics, they'll get mad at you, like Pikachu just demonstrated. Well, adios, matane, a la prochaine. See you later, everyone. Angry Pikachus, really. Okay, more language. My dear friends, how are you all today? I hope you are doing marvelously well. It's time for another of Salvatore's language lessons at Tu Vois Pris. Are you ready? Oui. I'd expect no less from my excellent friends. Even your replies to my question are excellent. As shown here today, we will once again be focusing on listening. Vasi, go for it, my assistant Pikachu. Pikachu! As you may remember from our last class, the same Pokemon's cries may sound different, depending on what it wants to say. As you'll hear today, that is, we will be learning more about the language used by Pokemon. Je t'en prie, if you would be so kind, Pikachu. Pika! That sounds a little bleak, doesn't it? His voice seems a little lower pitched, too. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Sadness! Ding, ding, ding! That's right, Lizzie. Fantastique. When Pikachu says, Pika, it's expressing sadness. Kind of makes you want to cry, doesn't it? That's right. I had my little Pikachu cry as if it was crying. Funny joke, right? Don't you think it did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. Oh, look at that thing. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you hear one of your Pokemon making sad noises like the one you just... like this one, you should treat them with even more kindness than usual. Well, you probably already knew that, so a piece of cake for you, I'm sure. Of course, this goes for your classmates and others as well. Friends should support each other in times of sadness. I truly hope that you all can have smiles on your faces all the time, my friends. Our prochaine course, next lesson that is, will be our final lesson together. I hope you're ready for the climactic finale. Adios, matane. Alright. 3 more questions after this. This is gonna be like a multi-episode thing. We've got a whole, like, the finals arc going on here. It's gonna be like a 5-episode arc. Lizzie, in school, taking the finals. My dear friends, how are you all today? It's time for the last of Salvatore's language lessons. Estivez vous? Are you ready? Oui! What a response! Fantastique! Great answer! That is perfect for our last class together. I love it! And as you hear, today we will once again be having a listening lesson. Vasia, go for it, my assistant Pikachu. Pikachu! Let's get right into it, my little Pikachu friend. For our last listening class, tell everyone how you're feeling right now. S'il te plaît. Cha! Ooh, can you feel that? That's one contagious emotion in Pikachu's voice. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Pain! Oh my, did Pikachu sound like it was in pain to you, Lizzie? And Pikachu says, "Cha!" It's expressing happiness. Doesn't it make you just want to break out into a happy dance? But I didn't have to ask Pikachu to put on an act today. Oh no. I simply asked it to show you all how it felt about getting to have class with you. Getting to meet so many new friends and study together in this class with you. It's made both me and my little Pikachu so very happy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you one last wise word of advice. As you live your lives, I'm sure you will all have times when you get mad or sad, maybe even more than you would like. Everything has its ups and downs. Life is a veritable roller coaster. But la fin, in the end, that is, there's surely happiness waiting for you. So, gardez les souris. Keep a smile on your face, even in the hardest of times. Cha! When you're faced with a problem that you can't handle alone, find someone to rely on, be it a teacher, your family, your friends, anyone. Our prochaine course, next lesson, will be our final exam. Be sure to review what we learned in all our lessons so far. Adios, matane! Language finale, or finals. Yes. As you'd hear, today we take our final exam. Tenez-vous, relax, that is, and do your best. Estez-vous prêts? Are you ready? Let's begin. Which of the following name means delicious? Delicio. Wait, what do these two foreign phrases mean? Jetame, ishle bidish. I think that's I love you. Ishle bidish? Jetame. Jetame. Pika! That is, that's anger. Cha! That's, gonna be, nope, that's happiness. What is your beloved teacher's name? Isildur. No, Salvador. Labrador. Salvador. Yes, fine. Time is up. Posez-vous stelios. Put down your pen, that is. I assume the obligatory diner question, last question, that is, gave you no trouble. I'm sure you all did great. Bravo, my friends. You can get your scores at the school's front desk. Apparently, I've been doing school for like 50 minutes. Okay. Is this a 5 out of 5? Haha, Lizzie's back! There we go. Well done, Lizzie. Okay, sheesh. Alright, next class is going to be Battle Studies. With Dendra, yes. Okay. Battle Studies, here we go. Another day, another round of battle study. Usu, let's get right into this. You all gave everything you had on the midterm exams. Well done. Well, we'll resume our regular classes today, so keep up that energy for the second half of the term. Have you all been using the R button to send out your Pokemon? If you do, your Pokemon will run off in the direction you're facing. It's a super useful tactic that lets your Pokemon pick up faraway items for you, and that's not all. If there's a wild Pokemon near where you sent out your Pokemon, they'll start battling each other. We call those battles auto battles. Just as the name implies, your Pokemon will act on its own during auto battles, meaning you won't have to give it any commands. And if your Pokemon wins, it'll get XP points just like it would in a regular battle. If you make good use of these battles, they can be a really efficient way to train your party. But you want to remember that Pokemon won't evolve or learn new moves right away if they level up from an auto battle. Also, if Pokemon loses an auto battle, it'll come back with just a small amount of HP left. Make sure to heal it up right away. Whoops, I just about did the whole class as a one-sided lecture. Does anyone have any questions so far? How do I stop an auto battle? There's no stopping an auto battle once it starts. You have to wait and see how it plays out. You could call your Pokemon off before the battle starts, though, if you press the R button while your Pokemon is still on its way to the opponent. Even during auto battles, our Pokemon are out there battling for us, their trainers. Keep an eye on them as much as possible, and if it looks like they're going to lose, be sure to have them retreat. Also, this goes without saying, but Pokemon with low HP are already worn out. they probably won't enjoy auto battles as much, so don't work them too hard, okay? In conclusion, auto battles only work if a trainer and their Pokemon have a relationship of mutual trust. Be smart with how you use auto battles so you don't lose the trust of your Pokemon. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we've run out of time as usual. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. More battle studies. And we're doing all this for XP candies. Assets. They're useful, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know, seems a bit much. Another day, another round of battle study. Let's get right into this. I hope you gave auto battles a shot like we talked about last class. Making good use of auto battles will let you train up a bunch of different Pokemon. It's also an efficient way to gather the Pokemon materials you need to make TMs at TM machines. Speaking of which, have you all been using the TM machines? I sure hope so, because it's pop quiz time. To create TMs, you need Pokemon materials and one other thing. Anyone remember what that is? LP. Looks like you're already a TM Machine Pro, new kid. The correct answer is League Points, or LP for short. I thought it was Long Play Records. You can give LP and Pokemon materials to a TM machine to create TMs, but that's not all. You can also exchange Pokemon materials at a TM machine to get LP. I recently heard about some shady individuals getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking, or something like that. I don't want any of you to get involved in bad stuff like that, got it? Anyway, you can also add TMs that you want to make to your watch list. This will let you keep an eye on the materials you need to gather. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon materials. And if you want to get a hold of lots of materials, you have to battle all kinds of Pokemon. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we're never going to have the time. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. Will we ever get hands-on practice in the battle class? Eventually, it's gotta happen, right? Anyone else creeped out by the Gengar behind the front desk? Like, why is it there? What possible function could it serve? This is our last class, but don't let those energy levels drop before we wrap things up. You've shown that you have more than enough knowledge to be super strong battlers. I don't know that I have much left to teach you. But we can always aim for even ever greater heights. So today I'm going to teach you about the rules of link battles. When two trainers participate in link battles together, they can engage in either single battles or double battles with each other. And if you're playing in a group of 4, you can all battle each other in multi-battles. Now, when you're out having battles during your independent study, you can use whatever number of Pokemon you like, and they can be of any level. But in link battles, there are special rules to keep in mind. Some of these special rules involve adjusting Pokemon's levels. Now, the no restrictions rule set lets all Pokemon stay at the current level. It lets trainers use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiples of the same held item too. But if you choose to use normal rules, all your Pokemon will be set to level 50 for your battles, regardless of what level they actually are. This even includes lower level Pokemon. They'll get a power boost to participate. That's right, they'll be taking the roids. Isn't that nice? Normal rules let you use multiples of the same Pokemon species and of the same held items too. The great part about this rule set is that it lets any of your Pokemon participate. All they have to do is learn some good moves. Lastly, the rule set called Flat Rules mostly affects Pokemon over level 50. Such Pokemon will be set to level 50 for the duration of the battle. The Flat Rules rule set is one often used for official tournaments. This rule set does not allow trainers to use multiple Pokemon of the same species or multiples of the same held item. Alright, here's a question for you. Which rule set should you pick if you want to use a lower leveled Pokemon and keep its level low? Normal rules. No, flat rules, never mind. Ooh, got you there. Normal rules adjust all Pokemon to level 50, even lower level ones. If you got some clever strategy that you need to use a level 5 Pokemon for, your best bet is to choose the flat rules rule set. Of course, you can also choose no restrictions if you want to battle with any Pokemon you want, at any level, and with any held item. That's a pretty good rule set for when you want to battle freely with friends. In conclusion, normal rules adjust all Pokemon to level 50. Flat rules lets you use lower level Pokemon at their actual levels. I hope you'll use these tips to have some exciting battles with your friends. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we truly are out of time. Next class will be our final exam. Aim for a perfect score. Loosen. Okay. Battle studies final. It's weird seeing you in the classroom. It's finally game day. Today is our final exam. Time to put on your game faces and do battle with those test sheets. Okay, which cheer boosts attack and special attack for all allies during raid battles? It's gotta be go all out. What do we call the battles that Pokemon sent out with the R button do on their own? Those are auto battles. How should you obtain LP? Hack this. Take on gyms, I believe. Exchange materials. Alright, high level Pokemon are adjusted to what level when using flat rules in link battles? 50. When using normal rules in link battles, you can use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiples of the same held item. True. Time's up. Put your pencils down. I saw you giving it everything you got. I'm sure you all get perfect scores. You all did so well in my class. If you pass this test, you'll officially be Battle Masters. Now go ask for your surely stellar scores at the front desk, you little rascals. Okay, what do we got? 5 out of 5, I'm assuming. 5 out of 5, alrighty. And I was getting up in the morning for 5 out of 5. Okay. Next class. Let's do home ec next. Time to learn to cook some more. Put away your phones, it is time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I am glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life have taken roots in all of you. I trust that you will all work as hard on your life skills in the second half of our course as well. Let's now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet, despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Miss Lizzie, since you did quite well on your midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? He should make food more often. He should make food with other people. Arvin? I cannot disclose the identity of this certain male student who enjoys the culinary arts. It may very well be Arvin, but it may not be. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare sandwiches with others, you will be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well when dealing with a difficult issue. Working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft his sandwiches in the future. We've actually been working together. It's been great. It's been wonderful. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Okay, that was funny. That was good. Okay. Home ec. Home ec is the best class. The math may have been the most enlightening class. Put away your phones! It is time to begin class. While you're out performing field work with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy! Pokemon battle, they get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I've seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. Ah yes, Miss Lizzie. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Nothing. Clean it up. Perfectly correct. I knew I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you're having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I like to call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you're able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered up with soapy bubbles as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth. Then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terra Jewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore HP and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies that they don't want scrubbed, or that they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point, like I must mention, is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Now, I will contradict myself by saying this. Please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. So clean Pokemon, unless they like it, in which case, don't. So you may or may not want to clean your Pokemon. It's home ec time. Put away your phones. It is time to begin our last class together. Home economics is the study of life's necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realize that I focused almost entirely on food. It was not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, another necessity in our class. As I'm sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. That we provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish, whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one each for spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the academy accepted you. If by chance you are not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As long as you wear our school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school issued. This includes your bag or your hat, if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair, however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been against school rules. When I was a boy, at least. That reminds me. There's one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Is it our dorm rooms? No, not that. I was thinking something smaller and far more adorable. More importantly, how you decorate the interior of your dorm room is none of my business. I must admit that I am fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. Was that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. Are you a shareholder or something? This sounds like an ad spot. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with this small talk. This class, known as Home Economics, nears its end. I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you wake up, I'd be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your lives. Even if only a little. This sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on our final exam. Pokemon from the... What does it mean, mass outbreaks? I'm confused. Okay. Home ec final, yeah! Oh, the final for the best class. It's kind of melancholic in a way. The time has come to test how well you all have learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. Which with following meal powers makes it easier to come across shiny Pokemon. It's either Sparkling Power or Encounter Power. I'm going to assume it's Encounter Power because I don't think I've ever seen Sparkling Power as an actual thing. Which with following is not an effective Egg Power. Makes eggs hatch faster. Helps hatch strong Pokemon. It makes eggs easier to find? I feel like we didn't go over this in class. I'm going to assume it doesn't help you hatch stronger Pokemon. What is a simple yet important tactic for increasing the effectiveness of meal powers? Make food with others. What is the correct action to take when your adorable Pokemon becomes dirty? Pokemon Wish. Yeah, Pokemon Wash. This is a question about Academy rules. Should you change your uniform tops and bottoms to properly match each season? It doesn't matter. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I made the questions a little easier than I'd planned to as a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phone cases. I trust that you all gave this exam everything you had so that you will not have to retake it. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. I'm actually not sure about this one. What was the score? I could see it being 5 out of 5. I could see it being a 3 out of 5. 4 out of 5. I wonder which one we missed. It's either got to be the egg one or the shiny one. Oh well. Alright, only one more class left.